Shake off a little bit here. All right, everybody good? Got me? Testing? All right, well, you know, you tell a lot about a football team and how they responded. I thought yesterday our energy level was extremely low. I was waiting on that day to come. I didn't know when it was going to be here, but it showed up yesterday, and it was evident. It was evident when they came out of the locker room. But that's not our style. That's not what we're about. And so challenged them really hard yesterday through practice. Had a long practice yesterday, longer than I want to practice, but we had to get some good work in. And we were going to get our 22 periods of work in. That might have taken us 6 hours to get it in, but we were going to get it in regardless. And so my message to them was, is that, you know, you either push or I will. And I had to push a little bit yesterday, but that's okay. That's to be expected. They responded well today, and I was excited about that. Much better energy today, so that was good to see. We've obviously making some progress. Still got to keep pushing. Got a long way to go. We've got this is essentially the last week of camp before we break and get into school mode next week, and still got a lot of work to do between now and our scrimmage on Saturday. But guys are moving in the right direction. I've been pleased with the progress of some of our young guys. I think Joe Fouché is another one is continuing to pick up at that defense. Miles Mason's another one that has really came on over about the last 5 practices. I've been extremely excited with those two guys. They provide depth back there. They're 2 young guys that have an opportunity to be really special football players. They got to keep learning. They got to keep growing. We got to keep straining these guys. Bumper Pool's another one that is really showing some good things. Bumper's in a position right now that we feel like he's going to be able to contribute. We're going to challenge him some more and see how this thing goes. But he's really progressed over the last few days of practice. Actually, about the last 4 or 5 days, had a really good scrimmage the other day. But outside of that, it's day to day. It's be the best we can be one day at a time, and that's all we can ask of our guys. And so with that, I'll open up for questions.
Yeah, Chad, is there an update on Jeremy Patton? How's he doing?
Yeah, we actually had some good news on Jeremy. It's a bruise, and Jeremy will be back. We hope to get him back. We'll see. It's day to day. Really, he was on crutches yesterday, in a boot today, walking around, and so going through a little bit of rehab. He'll pick back up. Hopefully to get him back, over the next week or so. But from listening to him talk, when he said he felt like someone kicked him in the back of the leg, which is not a good sign, and then through the checkout of everything yesterday. With his ankle, it came out good. So
just how big a relief was that? You just see a guy go down, he gets carted off, and he's one of your best players. Just how big a relief was that's not serious?
Yeah, well, anybody, regardless, whether they play 1 snap or 101 snaps, it's always great to see a guy that you get positive results back. Part of football. It's just part of football, and we're fortunate enough to be able to have some good news out of it, and that's catching a break. We caught a break right there with Jeremy, and I know he's excited, it's going to be limited time being out.
Hey, with the rain today, it looks like you wanted to stay outside. Can you talk about what the wet ball stuff looked like today? Did you stay out there most of the day, all the day?
Yeah, no, we stayed out all day, and I guess the only disappointment was that it let up on us right there at the end. I was wishing it would rain a little harder and a little longer, but the guys responded. Again, it was all about the adverse conditions, and we actually had scripted in. Today was a big wet ball day for us all day long, matter of fact, our last scenario of the game was I believe we had, it was a minute 52 on the clock in a driving rainstorm. The offense is up by 7. The ball's on a -20 with the defense having 2 timeouts. I did that back in, I guess, late May, early June. So I didn't realize it was truly going to be raining today. But we were able to get that in. So that was good stuff. Let these quarterbacks handle the wet ball. The running backs handle the wet ball. It's something we do every day anyways, an inside drill. But for us to do it all day long, it was good. I thought the guys had great energy and bouncing around, and the conditions didn't affect them.
What do you expect out of your D tackles? What style are you going to play with those guys? What do you expect to get from them this year?
Well, and these guys got number one. They got to keep them off those linebackers. Well, that's first and foremost. Obviously, playing with hands and getting off blocks. But the main thing, their job is to occupy their gaps and keep those linebackers free and let those three linebackers make some plays. But I feel like we got some guys that can disrupt things. Armand Watts is one that's having a good camp. Jonathan Marshall's another one that's having a really good camp right now. I've been very pleased with Jonathan. T.J. Smith's another one that's pushing. Briston Guidry's back out there. We got to get a little bit more out of him. So hopefully he'll start coming on and kind of getting himself into playing shape. But again, Sosa moving inside and being able to be disruptive and quick and using his hands and getting off blocks. But yeah, as much movement as we do from our defensive line, that's one thing these guys got to do.
Just offensive tackle, kind of shifting Clary and Wagner around. Just how do you feel comfortable about who's at right and left?
Yeah, well, Brian Wallace should be back full tomorrow, but Dalton's done a good job at right tackle. He seems like he's a good fit there. He played there Saturday in the scrimmage and did some really good things. But also started out camp at left tackle too. So, we've got a chance to move him back and forth and just trying to find the right fit. When Brian comes in at right tackle, then we expect Dalton to be back at left tackle. Shane's been moved out, and I've talked a little bit about Noah Gatlin as a young kid that's really coming on. And, some of these young guys are kind of hitting that wall right now, but we're going to keep pushing them through it. But, I expect Dalton to be a guy that's going to have a chance to play a lot for us.
After watching the video from the scrimmage, did you see anything that you liked or didn't like from your quarterbacks, and has there been any separation there after watching the video?
Yeah, no separation. None right now. Consistency. We've got to keep pushing these guys and being more consistent. They've done some good things, but just really, really hoping one or two or whichever one would just take off and make it clear cut. And right now, that's not been the case. They're pushing each other, and we're going to get to a point here pretty soon, especially after Saturday, to where we'll start honing in and looking to see. But we got a good battle going on, a good challenge going on right now. But after watching the film Saturday, I thought Ty came out and did some really good things for us. Early on, was very in control. Very pleased with him running the offense. I think as the game went, that the scrimmage went, that Cole picked up and did some good things as well. Maybe not started as quick as we wanted to see, but we were in a lot of situational early on in that scrimmage, so it's hard to get into a rhythm. But again, saw some good things as we finished with those, and I obviously saw some freshmen that really played a lot. From John Stephen Jones to Connor Nolan, and Dalton as well. Dalton Hyatt did a few good things as well. So I've got a good battle going on. So we'll see. We'll keep pushing.
Chad, you mentioned the other day that Jack Lindsey wasn't live. Is that because he's the holder, or why wasn't he live?
Yeah, he's an older guy, and we knew that obviously he's holding for us, and he was going to be in some live field goal situations right there. But as far as putting him back there at quarterback and making him live, he's a guy that we've an older guy that understands the offense and just moving him around. As far as just being our starting holder, I didn't want to take a chance with him.
Yeah, I noticed Ryan Winkle's been out there doing some rehab stuff and some biking. And how tough was that when he got hurt? I guess essentially the first day when he was doing stuff, and how's he doing in his rehab, and kind of how do you see things going for him moving forward?
Yeah, I was actually talking to our trainers today about him. They came up to me on the practice field, and he's progressing. He's progressing really well, and actually started in on doing some punch work and doing well. We expect to get him back here pretty quick, hopefully, but it's tough. Any guy comes in on his very first day in a warm-up set, and has a torn pec and goes through surgery and battles back, and here he goes. So, we expect to get that guy back pretty soon.
Is he keeping a good attitude?
Oh, a great attitude. He's spectacular attitude. They wish they all had that, as they battle through injuries. He understands what it's going to take to get back full speed. But again, he's just a freshman and got a lot of ball ahead of him. Else?
Yeah, Coach, I was curious if you'd seen the short film on Frank Broyles that got released today, and if you'd seen it, what your takeaways were.
Yeah, I have not. My plans are to watch it after lunch, and I have not seen it. We were in meetings early this morning, and obviously on the practice field. But I'm going to watch it, and I saw clips of it, and but I'm excited to see it. Obviously, we know the impact that Coach has had in this, not just this university, but this entire state and across college football. And so I'll be excited to watch it.
Chad, did you ever meet Frank Broyles, or and
I-
if so, did you know him at all? Or?
Well, I met him in passing at a clinic or two that I would go to, especially growing up and getting in this profession as a young guy, and always, as a high school coach, you always idolized different coaches across, and you admired the work that they did, and Coach was one of those guys. Had an opportunity just in passing to shake his hand, and I thought that was the coolest thing.
I think he was really the first Arkansas coach to recruit Texas hard. He kind of set the tone there. Were you aware of that? Just what do you think about that? And obviously, I know that's what you want to do too.
Yeah, sure. I was. I'm very aware of it, and obviously growing up in Texas and back in the Southwest Conference days, and seeing the Arkansas on TV and watching them play and knowing what Coach was doing and recruiting the guys out of the state of Texas. So yeah, it's and that's kind of what we've kind of went back and looked at. When Arkansas was really in their heyday, what were they doing? They were doing a great job of recruiting into Texas and Tulsa and Memphis and in particular into East Texas. And so again, that's part of our footprint. That is our footprint.
Do you have any updates on Colton Jackson and Kevin Richardson? Are they improving as you expected?
They are. Kevin Richardson's he's in the training room daily and hopefully get him back. You hope early September. Colton Jackson is ahead of schedule right now, and so now what does that mean? I don't know, but I just know that they're telling me he's ahead of schedule and is progressing, is in meetings, and is obviously out there on the practice field right now with his teammates.
What's the most accurate description you've heard of the way you want to run your offense? What's the best way to put it, would you say?
I think you say we're a two-back, run-oriented, play-action shot football team. I mean, that's what we are. We're going to run the football. We want to run the football and take shots down the field. And I mean, that's if you ask me to sum it up, that's probably it. We're a two-back, run-oriented football team, and that believes in taking shots and doing it at a fast pace.
Coach, has there been any separation at any certain positions? You said you might start paring things down a little more, like running back specifically, and also kicker.
We've put the kickers. We really have gone live quite a bit with the kickers, and it's. I know we were 1 for 1 today in the rain, but we had a good day Saturday. We got to be more consistent and develop more consistency at kicker. With Connor. Connor's done some really good things, and the Preston Stafford kid is another one that's really coming on. That's challenging each other right there, Preston and Connor. But at the running back position, I feel like that you have 5 guys right now that are really pushing each other, and that's a very healthy running back room right now. And got a lot of competition going on. Each one brings a different dynamic to the field, and Coach Traylor's has done a great job with them, and they've done a really good job of picking up in pass protection. We had a couple situations out there today that the running back had to sit in there and put his face in the fan essentially and get a linebacker that's barreling down on him, and he did it, and that was good to see. To get that ball off. So these guys are coming on, and we've challenged T.J. Hammonds, and that was T.J. T.J. was one of the guys today that stood in there today and picked up a linebacker coming, and then we got the ball off. So I've been very pleased with their progress and obviously the depth there. I'm really excited about.
With all the rain and stuff, did you feel like you guys did a pretty good job of taking care of the ball? Or how was their ball security today under the weather conditions?
Yeah, I thought we had a decent ball security today. Obviously, that I think there might have been one that got on the ground today, but I was more concerned. I wanted to see how the centers were going to get the snaps back there to the quarterback, and I thought we did some good things there. But anytime you can put them in those type of situations and conditions and see how they respond, that's what it's about. I mean, you couldn't have scripted a better day today.
Any more questions for Coach?
All right. Thank you.